Hello, I'm Madhur Jaffrey, and you're watching Sky Guide.
In this series, I will be exploring homes, shops, and restaurants, any doorway from which I get an aroma of South Asian spices. I want to experience every kind of Indian cooking.
And that is what I'm here to record, to see the state of this great British curry nation today. I've been working in films and television and all kinds of writing books, tons of books, all these years. I haven't been on the road in Britain, that's quite true. And that has been very, very exciting, especially going to places like Yorkshire, going to the Dales, which was so beautiful, and seeing all those high stone walls and the sheep and the lamb. It was gorgeous. And then really talking to different communities of South Asians. For example, in Glasgow, the bhajias and pakoras and things that were being made, the variety, I mean, haggis pakoras, I'd never had that before. And haggis put over a bhatura, which is a fried leavened bread, like a puri, but it's leavened. And they had this haggis curry on top. And I thought, that's kind of interesting. So just these variations that people put in because of where they are. And these were people, Sikhs, who had settled in Scotland over 2 generations. And they speak with a Scottish accent. In the restaurant, all the waiters wear kilts. And even they have their names on it, Bobby, names, very British kind of names. And with their kilts, and they're cooking this mixture of foods that they think the locals like, and they are themselves really Scottish now, so things they like, which are not anything that an Indian in India would recognize. It's interesting to see this kind of variation.
Rohit Chugh gave up a lucrative career in the city to risk it all with a menu that delivers authentic Indian flavors in a very modern way.
I've always had this desire to open a restaurant that served the kind of food I was proud of, and I really wanted my friends, my family, my work colleagues to taste this kind of food. So that's why Roti Chai was born, really the soul food, the comfort food I grew up with as a kid.
There are Indians from India who've just come and who are cooking very authentic dishes. There are chefs who know what Indian food is like. Some of them are raised in this country. We just were talking to a chef and looking at his recipes. He's from Yorkshire. He was born in Yorkshire. But he keeps going back to India. They have the money now to keep going back. And he sees what's in India. So he combines the meat and fish that is available in this country with techniques that are Indian or Pakistani, and he puts them together. So you have a whole new way of cooking British Indian food or British South Asian food in this country.
My old friend Vivek Singh has become a hugely successful restaurateur, winning a Michelin star by taking Indian classic dishes and cooking them in a French fusion manner.
Grilled aubergine with peanut crumble.
Oh,
Saddle of lamb
okay.
with pan-seared haddock fillet with kokum and crab crust on the top.
I like to think of our cuisine in cinnamon restaurants as evolved modern Indian food. We take traditional Indian cooking techniques and traditional Indian spicing and deconstruct them and combine that with the very best local seasonal produce that we can buy.
When Indian dishes came here, they were not imported as they would be cooked in India. Because who was doing the cooking in the old curry houses? They were sailors who jumped ship, and they were not necessarily chefs. So they worked out a generalized curry. Hence we have the vindaloo, the chicken. It's a whole thing that you will recognize immediately. Chicken madras, chicken bhuna, a lamb korma. It's a dish that is a set of dishes graded according to heat that is presented on every menu. And I had this feeling that this underground, the menu was spread underground, Xeroxed by everybody, and they did exactly the same thing because that's what they thought people liked. And this didn't begin to change really until around the time I started doing my programs, which was in the early 1980s. It was very much the case that you got these standardized recipes. What's happened in this country is that they've decided that korma is mild, the vindaloo is hot. But in India, it can all change around. You can have a hot korma and you can have a milder vindaloo. You can cook it the way you want to cook it. The pubs themselves have become kind of curry houses because they do serve, like Weatherspoons, we went to one of their pubs, and they have a curry night. Thursday's curry night. And they have the standard, you know, you get your vindaloo, again it's 3 chilies, 4 chilies against it to tell you how hot it is, a chicken madras, and going down to the chicken korma, and there were children eating there, so the children would order this. I'm up to eating a chicken tikka masala now, one little boy told me, you know, and the father was eating vindaloo because it's very macho, I can eat vindaloo. And the ladies, some of them were eating lamb korma. So it's become stereotypical in a way that certain foods are associated with heat.